This is CoTCast, Episode 9, on Friday, September 26th, 2008.
Hi, this is Maeve, and you're listening to CoTCast, Circle of Trust, where trust is earned, not given. Well, unless you want to buy Thrakis some beer, or give Carr some, favors, and I hear Horton kind of likes these lacy panty things. You know, I'm just saying. Well, anyway, y'all enjoy the show.
For Circle of Trust, a Warhammer Online guild fighting for destruction on Ostermark, and this is our podcast on all that concerns us. Hosting today is Ab.
Hello.
Maeve. Hello. Raze.
Hello.
Thrakis.
Hey.
Winnan.
Hello.
And myself, Ellen. Today we'll be discussing our thoughts on the guild so far, our current guild rank and the benefits of that, Winnan's RP Light Guide, healer issues, title unlocks, destruction discoveries, modcast, gold farming, Maeve's spotlight, and listener feedback.
It's a lot of shit.
Yeah, focus. Okay, thoughts on the guild so far. I did actually get a number today. We have 65 members, like in terms of actual individual people, not just characters.
Wow.
And so, yeah, like
I guess our campaign of mass recruiting has been working.
Yes, we're very successful. And
I saw a school bus drive by today, and I went out and ran down it, saying, "Please join." Trust that.
You guys want to join my guild? We'll give you a muffin.
I have one of those like little index cards up at the local like Walmart, and my
like right next to the trailer for sale.
$50.
RSVP.
1,500 OBO.
My guild. Well, we've officially frozen recruitment, so we're just doing friends and family type of situations. So.
And that's about as big as I think we said months ago. That's
what we always said. Yeah, that's the biggest we'll get, and then we'll freeze it. So.
Well, thoughts on the guild? It's pretty cool.
I'm like massively surprised. Honestly, I thought there'd be some problems with people meshing, and I'm so pleased with everyone. Just seems to really love the game and love being a part of the guild, and everyone's inviting people to stuff, and it's cool. And it's like
I think it's really working out well.
Yeah, everybody seems.
And with all the new recruits and people with new names, I have a hard time telling who's new and old sometimes because everyone just seems to be, they got the right mindset, they're COT, they fit right in.
People seem to be like, even people like, who didn't know each other before coming here are getting in their own little groups, going off, and that's really cool. People seem to enjoy grouping together.
The guild rank's been
one really nice thing that they have is the fact that if you get into scenarios, then everyone's like, oh, who's interested in this, or who's interested in that, and queuing up and just going in and mashing really well in the scenarios. Like the other night, we were in Tier 2 scenario, and we were kicking the Order's butt in Phoenix Guard, and it was awesome. It just worked really well.
Yeah, and everyone has been, like you said, inviting people to go places. That's really cool.
Plus having enough people to do it. I know I usually play late at night or early in the morning, and before there'd be times when it was just me, but now there's always seems to be a few people around.
Yeah, the guild rank has been going up pretty easily, and we're currently 9, and I just wanted to point out to people.
Close to 10.
There's
I was just saying we're getting close to 10.
Oh,
yeah,
I can't wait
to
get the Herald, yeah. But we've got a guild vault. And we have guild auctions. And so if you don't know, you can go to the auctioneer and you can actually select to make things only available to your guildies and select like special prices for them. So that
Jack them up.
Well,
500 gold for this dull dagger.
I've always had a policy in my games where for guildies it was at cost, because it was to our benefit to have our guildies equipped. And then for everyone else, I have a profit that I would like to get.
You put something up for auction, and then anyone can bid on it, and if it's someone in the guild, they have one price. If other people bid on it, they have a different price? Or is it separate auctions?
I don't think
it's
so.
Separate auctions, I think. I haven't actually tested it, but I think it's separate.
I think it's only available to view from guild members. That's what I
Yeah.
assumed. But I mean, that's irresponsible speculation. I don't know.
To do
What were you
the
saying?
guild auction and mail and everything to people anyway. Because the mail system's a
Yeah,
pain.
Well, instead of mailing stuff to people, I would really encourage people just use the guild vault.
Does
just
everybody have
No.
permissions for it?
initiates
where
cannot.
is the guild vault?
It's the inevitable city.
It's in the inevitable city, and it's only there's like 3 or 4 bankers in the city, and it's only at like one of them. So I have a screenshot, and I'll post it later tonight in the guides area on our site where the guild vault is.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
It's a handy thing to have. I know from when they added that into WoW that it was really handy that people can just go in and throw stuff in there for like crafting supplies or like spare armor that they don't use and what have you, and people can just go and take it and what have you whenever they need it or what have you.
Yeah.
It's really handy.
There's stuff in there, and I've been putting a tith. You can put the guild can impose a tax, and we haven't done that yet, but we're gonna. But you can put a personal. Was it a tith or a t? I can't pronounce anything. But you
Tithe.
tithe? I don't think that's right.
I believe
Tithe.
it's pronounced Canada.
Michigan.
You could put a Canada on yourself,
Yeah.
and it will. Then you're basically donating that percentage.
You
to the
get you get health coverage too.
Social
Yes.
aspect.
Canada
And-
rules.
Yeah. So that'll be nice when we start the guild farming nights. Then we'll just have everyone just put it to 100%, and then you don't have to mail anything anywhere. It's just going in there.
Yeah, that was a pain in the ass in Dark Ages.
Was it for you because everyone gave everything to me and I had to do it? Was that
No, they did it to me a couple times. Don't act like you did everything. I had to deal with
He had to
You have to
listen
listen to your
complaining.
bitching all the time.
Yeah, I had to hear you like, oh, this sucks, and then I put up my headphones. It was a pain in the ass here.
It
too.
sure does.
All right, moving on.
Well, moving on. When you wrote role-playing light guide recently, I have not read that, but could you tell us about it?
You haven't read it yet, but yeah, tell us.
No, not going to read that.
It's 5 pages.
Yeah. No, so the basic idea, I know some people were saying, I don't know how to behave on a roleplay server, what's going on. So I just put it together for people who maybe haven't roleplayed much before or were afraid to. And the basic idea is we call ourselves Roleplay Light. We try to act in character when we're in public channels. When we're in guild, we leave that behind. But acting in character just means, at the minimum, don't talk about outside stuff like sports scores or whatever. And try not to use lead speak and any of that stuff. I put it out there just so people can have an idea of what to expect so they don't get thought of as jerks who are ruining the experience. And the other
Gotcha.
thing is there's one thing that I find on roleplay servers is people will speak with the double parenthesis around their text, and they do that to indicate that they're saying something out of character. Although, you can generally figure out if someone's saying something out of character.
I've noticed quite a bit of that in this game already,
Yeah,
I mean,
people-
so far. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy role-playing. I know I get into it. I try to, what I do is I just think of myself as my character and just respond the way they would. So when I'm playing my healer, for instance, if someone were to bitch at me for not healing them, I would say, oh, I'm sorry, I was in the middle of a conversation with my skull and I wasn't able to heal you.
I'm not very fancy about it. Like when I leave a public quest in a group that I've been with for 2 or 3 or 4 runs, I simply say thank you all and good hunting to you, and I take off. I don't really I don't know if that's really role playing, but it's not breaking immersion either. It's kind of a middle ground there, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
I think that's
I think
fine.
it's-
I mean,
fancy.
I think the weird part
Everyone-
is being on destruction side. I mean, all these different factions really hate each other, but they're tied together in this game in the outside of kind of the lore. So it's kind of that weird area where you can talk down to people just because you have to interact with them, but you still have to remain in character. That's it's kind of how I view it. So yeah, I just try to say stuff like that, things that aren't from just aren't explicit out of character, but yeah, things like good hunting, take care, blah blah.
yeah, and if you want to insult someone because let's say they're an orc and you're a human, you can do it. But if you do, as long as you put some flourishes in there, then you want to make sure they realize that you're not an asshole. You're just role playing an asshole. A little bit goes a long way. That was the basic point of the whole post.
The one thing that I always do with the Dark Elves is you always got to put a lot of sarcasm in your tone, like the way you phrase things.
We'll just talk normal.
That's the way I always see the Dark Elves come across, is very sarcastic and sort of uppity, like sort of almost to the point of the High Elves, but with that darker tone to it.
All right, there's been quite a bit of complaining about healers on every board and in podcasts I've heard too. And it's just funny to me that people who don't play healer always know how to play the perfect healer. And they're very vocal about it.
The one thing I will say is that I have noticed a significant, I don't know, lack thereof when it comes to healers. Like 90% of the destruction healing comes from zealots and disciples of Cain. Like you almost don't see any goblin shamans running around, or very, very few. It's almost the same as squig herders. You almost never see any of them for some reason. Personally, I love the shaman. I think it's a great balance between healing and being able to do damage. But
that's
when you're in a raid, you're expected to heal, which kind of sucks in that regards.
I wonder that about the shaman, because they built that up to be, you have to be your most effective. You have to do both. Is part of that because they get so many bonuses from doing one and then doing the other that they're more balanced and you don't notice it as much out of them.
I think one of the reasons they did that is to make the healers more interesting. Because if all you do is sit there and target one guy and just heal, then all the healers are going to be bots, and it'll be like Camelot.
They said that was one of their goals, is to have the healers not to be your traditional healers. But, like you said, it kind of leads to some problems, I suppose.
Well, then how does the Rune Priest play? Is that...
No, there is like a traditional healer on each side. The Zealot's very much a heal bot.
A pure healer, yeah.
Yeah, it's very close to it. Well, healers are kind of always the minority in MMOs. I mean, this isn't anything new. Like, that seems... I mean, in EQ, people are always complaining that there weren't enough healers. It takes a certain type of player to play a healer. It's like the hockey goalie of the classes in an MMO. It's all the blame and none of it.
Yeah, no, don't hit mute.
Yeah, I know.
It adds flavor.
Did you actually hear that one? Sorry, I'll have to hit that actually at the bottom there.
But he times it so well too. It's right in the middle of every sentence, like. And I think.
Here, I'll just cough up this lung for you.
I said I bitch about the tanks all the time because they don't get aggro very well.
But is it that because we're at a lower level and like later on we'll get more skills and abilities?
Yeah, probably. But there's some that suck.
Well, but I mean everyone's
just like healers in any other class.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they don't get it. They don't get it drawn to them though. They don't get called out everywhere.
I don't really. Well, I haven't found that tanks getting aggro is that big of a problem. Mind you, keeping everything off of healers, that tends to be more of a problem. And I don't know if the healers. That's one thing I haven't progressed far enough in the healer line, like with the shaman, to find out if they actually have like a detaunt so that they can actually reduce their threat in the P versus E environment.
I wonder how much of it is. There's more people playing MMOs now than ever, and there's more people that go straight for the healer than there used to be in DAOC when people were kind of new to the whole concept of fighting the enemy, and that's part of it.
I don't know, but I know that when it comes to like Realm versus Realm, hell, they ignore any of the healer classes in Realm versus Realm. They'll always go straight for the Witch Elves. I swear to God, they hate Witch Elves with a passion. Because every time I'm in the middle of a fray, they go after me first. It doesn't matter if someone's running by with the freaking flag. They'll come after me and go,
really?
Oh, look, Witch Elf, kill him.
I haven't run into that at all yet.
God.
I mean, I'm lower level than you,
They're
but I haven't.
They're just drawn to your nakedness.
Yeah, you're so
it
hot.
could be just my hotness too. Yeah.
They're just like boobies.
Like,
and they turn.
Boobies.
Yeah.
There is
Actually,
one
weirdly
thing.
enough, I get that. I was just gonna say, I get that a lot on the Marauder. Weirdly enough, they kind of ignore their targets and go after me. I guess they're afraid of the DPS. I don't know.
Well, from what I've heard, Marauders are supposed to be like second in fear factor when it comes to the Archmages and what have you, because their DPS is like right there behind the Witch Elves. That's what I've heard at any rate. I haven't really noticed the DPS difference myself. So,
All right, let's move along here.
Okay, I was listening to Warp. It's a podcast about Warhammer Online, and the healer that was on the show was complaining that there's no way to see other party health bars. Okay.
Go ahead.
In some frantic situations, it would be impossible to select like the actual character that needed healing because of like there's always a mob surrounding them. Like if it's a flag situation, especially, and if you didn't have that scenario party window open, of course you're not going to be a good healer. And then it kind of hit me that perhaps some people don't know about the scenario party window because it's kind of bugged. When you first log into a scenario, you have that window that shows you the group makeup of your side, and like I said, it's a little bugged. So even if you have the parties clicked, they don't show up unless you uncheck them and then check them again. And you have to do it every time you enter a scenario. And then you'll be able to move like the parties around on your screen and keep an eye on the health bars, and you can select people from that interface, and that'll help you heal those people who aren't on your or they're not in your immediate group, and you're going to be a lot more useful to your side. There's a few problems though with the interface. I mean, it's it's not great, but it's better than not having it. It's not as condensed as the warband menu, and I'm not sure why they've made it different. But the scenario party menu is a lot more bulky, and you can't resize it. And there's no like fade for people who are out of range. So like there's a lot of times when I toss a heal on someone, and then I'll notice like they're nowhere around the battle I'm in. But then I notice like that circle at your feet. If it's yellow, it means they're in range, and then if it's like gray blue, they're out of range. But that's not really, it's not a good indicator because I don't have time to like look at my character's feet all the time when I'm trying to heal 3 groups of people. But there is an indication available, but it's not very good. So yeah, that's my little tip that I thought everyone knew about, but maybe people didn't know about it. So
Can you repeat that?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was good.
Say what?
And if you want healing, don't go solo. You know, be in a party, be in a warband. It makes it a lot easier for your healers to target you and keep an eye on you. If you're gonna go solo, it's not that they want to ignore you or that they're punishing you or anything, but you're just making it more difficult for them to select you and give you the heals you need.
You know, I've gotten pretty lucky. I've had really good healing so far, and I've made sure to always target the healer and cheer them or at least say thanks or whatever, but I haven't had problems really yet.
I've gotten compliments. I've never gotten a complaint, so I've been with nice people, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that's a witch elf that I always do is if I'm like running my ass off with a flag, I want to frickin' get heals. Every time I get a heal or that kept me up, like just a little while ago, I had like 5 guys on me beating me down trying to get the flag from me, and there's probably 2 healers that were just sitting there basically spamming heals on me, trying to keep me up with the flag. And as soon as that was over, I was like, "Thank you for the heals."
You got to reinforce
if
that.
it wasn't for that, I would have been toast.
Yeah. There's been times too where like as a healer in RVR too, it's like totally different than PvE. In PvE, there's that general rule: save the healer, save the group. You know, but in RVR, that's not necessarily the case because if you're the last one alive, when you play with real people, they can still see you and they're gonna kill you. So you're not really saving yourself or your group. And there's been times where like it's just like it's down to like me and the person carrying that flag, and that person just needs like a fraction of a second to get it planted, you know. And you know, you shield them, you put the heal over time on them, and then if you can before you die, you throw your morale, you know, heal on them to really boost them up to 100% before you go down, because you could have used all that to save yourself, but you lost the objective. You know, what's the point? So, and you may let them live long enough for another healer to run up and help them out.
Yeah, I also found a similar tactic is good to get the enemy dead. So you go out a little too far, and then all their tanks will rush at you because they're like, "Ooh, healer, I'm going to kill him." And you run back to your group, and they chase you because they're focused on you, and then you just sit there and heal yourself, and they'll keep slamming on you, and everyone around you kills them.
All right, should we move on?
Yeah. Well, that kind of goes into through healing. I got this cool title. It's called the Ogler. I've clicked on. So many people are playing naked for the naked titles that I've clicked on 100 naked people.
That's awesome.
So now I have the title the Ogler.
See, now you're accomplishing something.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to get that one for my dirty old man character.
There you go. You got a good one too. You got the what was it? The streaker.
Yeah, I got the streaker. Yeah, so I've been playing naked with my mage just for the hell of it because I hate trying to find gear. And we finished at PQ, and at the end I got the title the streaker because I'm doing 10 naked PQs.
Wow.
I think I have
that's awesome.
I think I have about 10 different tome unlocks related to nakedness.
Nice.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Classy gentleman.
Yeah, dirty old man.
Yes, indeed.
The only one that I found that I haven't seen a lot of people with at any rate is the Lumberjack. I just happened to be wandering through one of the Dark Elf lands, went up on one of these peaks, and there was this like dryad guys laying on the ground. I clicked on him. All of a sudden, it says you've earned the title of Lumberjack. I went, okay. I didn't even hit him. It was kind of one of those freaky little things. But now I can wander around with the Lumberjack now. That's the only one, a really odd one I've seen.
Anyone for destruction discoveries? Now this is probably one that I'm not a big discovery person, so it's probably very common. But if you go into the library in the Inevitable City, there's a fireplace, and if you click on it, like this wall goes up, and then you see this glowy head behind it, and that's it. That's all I've discovered so far.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but you don't get anything for it, so it's such a common discovery. They don't even give you a tome unlock for it.
No.
Yeah, I
you
got
found the book. What do you do?
a cape.
You got a cape?
Yeah, so I was cruising around in Osterland and ran across a dryad or dyad or whatever they are and killed it, and then I got a tome unlock and a free cape to go with the tome unlock.
Sweet.
Of course, I have to go to the library to pick it up, so I don't know what it looks like yet. But
Oh.
Is that the one you had, Maeve?
It is. It's the Shawl of Spring is what the cape's called.
Huh.
Is that the cool one with the dragon on it?
Yeah, it's dark blue one. Yeah.
Oh, I want that.
Go kill all those little.
I must have it.
Yeah.
There's just one you have to kill.
I hope I can wear it and still get naked points.
I found a really crazy lair in Tier 1 Greenskin Zone. I don't remember exactly where I saved the location because I freaked out. I was just running around, screwing around one day, and I look in the corner, there's this little cave, and I was like, all right, this is probably a lair. Let me see if I can get something cool, a cool title. And I walk in, I look in the back, and there's this Night Goblin. And I was like, oh, let me go get a group. And then I clicked on him. Level 40 hero.
Oh, Jesus.
Sitting in the back
all
of
the
Tier
lairs.
1 Greenskin.
Yeah, they said in some of the casts that they were going to put like little areas in there. I think it was the same interview with the whole plunger thing that they said they were going to do little like big monsters in low-level zones and these little hid-away caves type of thing. So there's supposedly a whole bunch of them throughout the game. So
That's gonna be fun.
It's like the griffins in EverQuest that used to run around the newbie areas killing people.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
those
that's-
are crazy. Yeah.
That was nuts.
Everyone's running for the tunnel.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look, a griffin dead.
Yeah, so some people too, like I saw people were complaining about there's no target of a target in the game. But I wanted to point out there is /assist and there is /aid, and /assist picks the hostile target of your target, and /aid picks the friendly target of your target. And the reason why they did this, and they didn't just simply do target a target, is this is so that you don't get automatically told about targeting and what ability is being used, and the client never gets that information, so no add-on can be made to, like for illegal mods and cheats and stuff. And Pazzalupo has written a nice player guide in our war area on the forums, so check that out about using assist.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, we'll go on to the modcast section. This is from Vijus, and the mod that he has chosen, it's called Spam Slap by Durkyle, and you can find it at www.curse.com/downloads/details/13773, and that'll be in our show notes. The funny thing is he wrote this up like hours ago and like sent it to me, and it turned out like, of course, it's on the Herald like as of 7 p.m. so it's not really a big news thing now. But it is a good mod. It filters your incoming tells and refuses to display messages based on your user set keywords. And the author plans to add exception lists in the future versions. And this mod is great. With all the recent gold spamming the game has been getting lately, with only the 3 keywords gold, buy, and power leveling, Vijus said he blocked 20 spam messages in a single day, and he hasn't seen a single spam since he started using it. It's a huge increase in the quality of his playtime until Mythic gets, all of the spammers under control. It's easy to use. You just install it, set the filters you want, and forget about it. It's not a cheat. It has nothing to do with game mechanics. He's been using it for several days and has had no problems with it. Good job.
Thumbs up.
I'm totally an anti-mod person, but that one sounds so worth it.
Yeah, it does.
You guys want to move on to that kind of flows into the gold farming thing. Mythic and Mark Jacobs, they hate gold sellers, and they've banned over 4,000 of them. They have an absolute zero tolerance policy on it, and when a gold seller's banned, a special message has been going out to the server, and you may have seen them like these pop-ups, and they're kind of in character, the little messages. If you wondered why you're getting that, that's why. But I like to know that if, like, the first time I was like, neat, and then the second time I'm like, okay, and the third time I'm like, damn it. Because it's like so intrusive, It's like, okay, now I'm getting spammed by gold farmers and Mythic about gold farmers.
And then you get all the people who jump up into chat and say, yay, go Mythic.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, it's a good thing that they're doing it, and I like to know about it, but I don't know if they could do something, maybe not like as a pop-up window for me. I don't know.
I was going to say maybe like a news bulletin thing, like when you log in, that so many gold farmers were dispelled or dispatched or whatever, or something along that lines at the beginning, like when you log in, not constantly throughout the game. That'd probably be a better idea.
Like a message of the day thing, like just in the
sort of something along that lines.
Yeah.
They are posting it on the Herald too, I saw.
Oh, okay.
Just a little corner thing saying how many they've banned so far.
That's awesome. The guild has a strict policy on it. Don't buy in-game stuff with real money. It falls under our anything Mythic has deemed a bannable offense will cause you to be removed from the guild law. We only have 4 laws, and it's the first one, so this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Have you guys been reporting these people?
I've been ignoring them.
But it took so many steps to report. It becomes kind of a pain in itself.
And I've been /ignoring them, but the tells still come through from the same character. I don't know why. I wonder if I don't know if they have a mod that will bypass,
Mark,
ignore or
yeah,
what.
I saw on a VN post that Mark Jacobs made today, I think. But he said they do have some mods that they've gotten around some things.
God, those crafty douchebags.
I know.
It's amazing how much, resources and intelligence can go into screwing people.
Yeah, and into cheating in a video game. I mean, my God.
Like, God, we can't cure cancer, but we can get around all that
Yeah,
shit.
put the resources into like leukemia or cancer or something, people.
Yeah,
Gold
moving
armor's
on.
bad.
All right. Well, we can go on to the spot with
The
me.
spot. First question: how do you say the following words? Outfit, frilly, a skimpy, really, have, and lingerie.
Do I get to say them in that order?
Yeah, I think
You have
so.
with any order.
People with resources will use some internet tools. Yeah, so go ahead.
Oh, well, I see. See, I can't figure out if he's trying to make fun of my accent, and then I read the words and I decided he wasn't. Outfit, frilly, a skimpy, really have, and lingerie.
Fantastic. All right. What is it that made you pick a DPS tune after playing healers in previous games? And will you perhaps make a healer alt later on in war?
Well, the healer alt part is already taken care of. I have already done that. I have two, in fact, although my DOK doesn't count, I don't think. No, because pretty much for the same reasons we already talked about, is because healing's not that much fun anymore, I don't think. I did it for years and got tired of, people getting mad at you if they do die or whatever, and I decided I just wanted to do damage this time, and I'm having fun with it. It's a good change.
Which capital city do you like more, Inevitable City or Altdorf, and why?
Well, it's funny. The only time I was in Altdorf was when we were testing the contested part, so I actually have not been in Altdorf under regular circumstances, so I would have to go with the Inevitable City on that because it's the only one I've seen under normal circumstances.
Now, a hard-hitting
Sorry.
question. What is your favorite cereal?
My favorite cereal, it's boring, it's toasted oat squares.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You're hoping for Captain Crunch or something?
Yeah, something.
Disgusted.
I told you it's boring.
You eat
What is your
gruel.
something
drink of
different.
choice this evening?
I broke out the special margarita for tonight.
All right, that leads into my next question. How drunk are you right now on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being slightly tipsy and 10 being passed out in your own vomit?
Well, obviously, I'm not passed out in my own vomit. And I
Yeah,
had to go light.
so a 9?
No, not quite. I'm only 2 to 3 because otherwise I would just be probably saying mean things and being very loud.
You don't like us?
It doesn't matter when I drink tequila. You could be my best friend and I would say something nasty about you.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's why I usually avoid it.
Where do you get your ideas for your stories?
I really haven't written much other than the fan fiction for Warhammer, so that was pretty easy. I just tore it out of their lore and kind of took it and run with it. I was just trying to be a good guildie and win some buddy passes, which didn't work, but anyway.
This one's from Thrakis. How long did you play Lord of the Rings online after everyone left before trying to Google my address with a crowbar in your lap?
I went beyond that. I had Hitman out, but they couldn't find him.
Yeah, he is crafty.
I think he's using aliases. I'm convinced.
Oh, this is a good one. Who do you think has it worse for stereotypes, Northerners or Southerners? And are they justified?
Well, it just depends on your point of view, I suppose. And it depends on what there's Southerners and then there's rednecks, but there's rednecks that are everywhere. But I think probably, the Southerners think Yankees are all just terribly rude and obnoxious, and Northerners think Southerners are all completely stupid and a bunch of, backwoods idiots. So it just depends on your point of view. I prefer the Southerner.
Now, see, I'd rather be rude.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing for me to say, talking to a bunch of Yankees.
Oh,
That's okay. I'm
Hey,
a southerner too.
Watch it.
Fuck you and everything you stand for.
Northerner.
I'm way to the north,
there's
so I'm
something.
way out of the territory.
You're Canadian. You don't even count.
Exactly. I'll just sit back and let you guys argue amongst yourself which one's more dumb. I already know that we're smarter than all of you.
World up there.
Hey, what's the donut of the month at Tim Hortons? I wanted to get
I have no idea. I actually don't eat donuts, so ask me about beer. I can tell you pretty much a lot. Ask me about donuts, not a thing.
All right, let's move on then.
All right, listener feedback. We have 2. One's from Pezzalupo. He gave us 5 stars. He says, love it. Hilarious. Tons of fun to listen to, and I like the guest speakers too. And then we got another one from Soupy Flo, 5 stars. The title is Great Podcast, and it says, I've been listening to the CoTCast for the past few weeks now, while I've been eagerly anticipating the release of Warhammer Online. Anyhow, I enjoy listening to the CoTCast. Yes, some of the information pertains to their guild, but they also discuss a lot of other helpful information about, about Warhammer Online. And with a splash of good humor, it makes a good podcast, even if you aren't in COT Guild. It also seems they release a new podcast on a regular basis, so give it a try, and I think you will enjoy it.
Your check's in the mail.
Yeah, good feedback.
I like a splash of humor. It sounds like we're drinking.
Yeah.
We usually are.
Add to this, or are we ready to wrap up?
I think we're ready to wrap up. I want to go PQ.
Order.
Yeah, I got a lot of...
I gotta go watch presidential debates.
You nerd.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right, I'm wrapping up. Ready?
Do it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of CoTCast. CoTCast is the official podcast of Circle of Trust, a Warhammer Online Age Reckoning guild fighting for destruction on Ostermark. We're a proud member of the Eternal Law Alliance. CoTCast is owned and produced semi-monthly by CoTCast Guild members. Sources for the information in CoTCast include, but is not limited to, in-game occurrences, guild forum postings, guild member opinions, game news found on website, news sites, fan sites, blogs, other podcasts, various gaming magazines, rumors, lies, irresponsible speculation, most of which is discussed without permission or notification.
Yeah.
The views expressed in this podcast are personal and official views of specific COT members in the podcast. Our views should not be misrepresented as official views of anyone or anything else.
Yes, they should.
Questions, comments, feedbacks, errors, etc. can be sent to circleoftrust.guild@gmail.com, and we invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.circleoftrust.org.
Good thing you
Side
added
effects include
www.
sexual discomfort.
I know, I
It's like the
I'm gonna run
guys.
guys the game.
was going to put HTT